Dame separated by just 110 miles. First regular season meeting since 2012. We are just about set, ready to go. Mary Ashley Stevenson win the opening tip for the Boilers, and we are underway in South Bend. Janae Terry will set up the offense. The high ball screen from Caitlin Harper. Purdue 6-4 on the year. They've already played one game in the Big Ten, a loss to Minnesota. Game in which the Boilermakers led late. Work it inside out and off the pump fake. That's a three for Abby Ellis-No. Starting five for Notre Dame. Hidalgo Westbeld having perhaps her best season so far in her career. Watson, DeWolf, and Bransford round out the starting five. Off the bounce and a steal. It's what Hannah Hidalgo does best. And in transition, 2 free throws coming for Notre Dame on the bump.
Gets the breakout in transition and gets KK Bransford an opportunity at the foul line.
The foul called on Stevenson. Notre Dame on the board first. KK Bransford, step shooting 82% at the line this year. Hidalgo has really lived up to the hype, and Coach Neil Ivey really didn't back down from it upon her signing. As you take a look at Purdue's starting five: Layton, Harper, Ellis, Stevenson, and Janae Terry. They will go back to the Fighting Irish here. And here's Hidalgo. Then all the steals at number 3 in white hat. In and out on the layup.
Purdue struggles when they have to play in the half court offensively. It's going to be important for them to get a lot of ball movement, try to force some rotations to open up easy looks.
Inside to Harper, defended by Watson. An outstanding defense by Kylie Watson that time. And a baseline J is there for Bransford, and she's got 3.
Getting matched up in transition is going to be key. Notre Dame does such a good job of moving the ball, of pushing pace, of getting open shots.
Off the bounce, contact. An offensive foul call. That's a lost art, isn't it? We don't see a ton of the mid-range anymore in college hoops, do we?
We don't. We certainly don't. Off the bounce, off the point.
To be more efficient offensively, is there a simple solution?
Well, they got to find a way to get out in transition, and there's Hannah Hidalgo continues.
And Kelly Kamara also in the building. A guard for Purdue at the time, Stephanie.
I remember watching that game sitting in the stands, and of course Neil Ivey, the point guard, the great Ruth Riley on that team as well, and just the evolution of what Muffet McGraw has done with this Notre Dame program.
As an assistant coach in South Bend, and now trying to do so as a head coach. The recruiting efforts have been outstanding since taking over. Still 7-0. Purdue yet to crack the scoring column. 9-0. And Purdue already with 5 turnovers, Stephanie.
Well, Purdue's got to take care of the basketball. It was one of the concerns for Katie Gerald's, is really limiting turnovers. It has been what's hurt them in the games that they've lost this season. But I like the execution by Notre Dame, finding where the mismatch is, allowing their team to go to work. Maddy Westbeld, she can play it on the post. She can initiate the break.
Of course, you won a national championship at Purdue just 2 years before that game was played. You mentioned you were in the building. What's it like to play for a national championship, win one, and then watch your team just 2 years?
An all-Indiana national championship game.
Yeah, special moment for anyone from the States. Quickly ahead, and a layup, no, by Ellis. The putback. Here comes Hidalgo. Off the screen, weaving her way through. An opportunity now for Purdue. Open look, Ellis, that's a 3. And Hidalgo will slow things down. See, again, as a freshman, she just has this natural instinct to understand when to push, when to take her foot off the gas, so to speak.
She's got a lot of those things that you just can't teach. She's got the intangibles, understanding. You mentioned her ability to come in and just make an impact. And the thing that about her and Olivia Miles as well is they come in with this confidence, with this swag. And in the absence as Purdue...
I guess that's my way of saying, Stephanie, I would be very curious to see what a Notre Dame South Carolina rematch looked like maybe later this year with the Fighting Irish at full strength, Hidalgo having a full season under her belt. I think that would be something to watch. 18-9.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. You know, certainly that game that they played in Paris, a lot of variables. You're traveling, you're experiencing a lot of things, new players, young players, you know, trying to fit a system. I think South Carolina team that is so different from what they used to be. Their guard play, their ability to play in transition, to create off the bounce, to knock down threes, really knocked Notre Dame in the mouth early. And Niele Ivey has not shied away from talking about how disappointed she was in her team that they didn't respond, and seeing the growth, the ability to respond on the road against Tennessee in a game without Sonia Citron. But that young lady right there, Hannah Hidalgo, is one of the reasons why. She's going off of 2 feet. She really has great body control and understanding of where she is and how to finish.
Shot clock is off. Ellis penetrating off glass. So a surge for Purdue at the end of the first quarter. 20-11 our score, Stephanie. And Hannah Hidalgo living up to the hype once again.
No doubt about it. She's getting in. So their ability to create for one another, to make sure passes are on time, on target when they're coming off of screens.
Stephanie, Purdue, an NCAA tournament team last year, and Katie Gerald's trying to rebuild the program. How would you evaluate the job that she's done and what's still in front of her in that position?
No, I think she's done a really good job of getting talented players, in-state players, keeping them there, which is something that Purdue had done traditionally. More athleticism, some players who can create, who can get up and down the floor. I mean, this is a Purdue program who had struggled, and Katie Gerald's comes in and really revamping it.
Protecting resumes. We'll stay with ACC Network for our featured women's basketball game of the week. Kiki Jefferson, number 18, Louisville. Paige Beckers looks like she's getting back to her old self. That's something to watch as we get deeper into the season, right?
Right. She's just playing incredible basketball. I mean, she's shooting nearly 50% from the three-point line, looks stronger. How to play with her on the floor. She hadn't been on the floor in almost 600 days.
Wow.
And they're figuring it out.
DeWolf off the steal. Hidalgo inside. No. Next year as well in West Lafayette. That's always good to hear.
And I think this is a game that for the sake of Indiana basketball, needs to be played. And both of these coaches really recognizing that. Niele Ivey said she was trying to get this on the schedule while her son Jaden was at Purdue playing. But the Boilermakers really struggling.
Yeah, struggling to score. Stevenson bottled up. That's a jump. Wolf has had the hot hand. Feed it inside to Westbeld. Strong. Back to Terry. Notre Dame's defense persistently outstanding. How about that? Purdue just 2 points so far in the second quarter. Three-pointer, no. Hidalgo saves it off the rebound. The screen. Maddy Westbeld, 8 points, 7 rebounds already, Stephanie.
She's a player, again, that you can get touches a lot of different places on the floor. She's a high IQ player. She's got to continue to be solid for the Irish.
Inside of the Littlejohn Coliseum. And then after that, Marcus Burton, Notre Dame hosts Marist. 33-14, the first point for the Boilermakers in nearly 7 minutes with that last free throw. And DeWolf off the mark.
Well, they have yet to make a field goal in the second quarter. This Irish defense making everything difficult.
A runner by Ellis will stop that drought. Lead back to 17. Hidalgo up and under. Nearly got.
With contact, she's strong. I mean, Hannah Hidalgo is a player who grew up with 4.
Gatorade New Jersey Player of the Year. Scored 26. play like a first-year player, like a freshman, and it just has a larger sense of self-awareness and her importance right out of the gate. A block inside by Westbeld, and that was clean.
And Roy, there's a difference in players who play the game and players who love to play the game. And when you watch Hannah Hidalgo, she loves to compete. She's not one of these young players who come in and who just wants to play one side of the basketball, right? She gets it done on the defensive end with as much intensity, as much competitive edge as she does on the offensive end of the floor. She's just game ready on both ends, and it shows.
The ACC versus the Big Ten. Fighting Irish trying to win their 8th game. Up and under, and a beautiful spin. The English off the glass by Abby Ellis. Shot clock is off. You have to think this could be Hannah Hidalgo time. And here we go. I like the foul there. That's next level. Abby Ellis just picked up her 2nd, but disrupts the flow of this potential last possession.
I like the invert right there and the double team on Hidalgo on the out-of-bounds play.
And again, a foul called, and Hidalgo down on the floor for a moment. I'm not sure if maybe she caught a finger in the face and slow to get up. So no additional foul added. It is called on Terry for the record. And a late 3 in and out keeps our final score at 35-18. And a good start for the home team. We will check and see. That's a good sign, speaking of health, to see Hidalgo back on the court after she took a swipe to her right eye at the end of the first half. She will start the second half on the floor. And Purdue has the basketball, trailing by 17. Trailed by as many as 20 in our first 2 quarters. Inside to Ellis and stripped by Hidalgo. Another steal. That'll be her 4th. And DeWolf tripped up and was fouled. Oh, and she hurt her right leg, still on the hardwood.
Yeah, it looks like she came right across Harper's right foot and then rolled her right ankle.
I don't know how many times that happened to you in your career, but just watching it makes my ankle hurt. You know that it's sharp pain to start, and hopefully putting a little pressure on it will help.
Yeah, hopefully she can walk that off, get retaped, tighten it up a little bit.
Off the fake on the pass. Marshall gets it back up and in.
No, Roy, it's as a coach, watching the emergence of Nat Marshall in these last 4 or 5 ball games and the confidence that she's playing with, you know, it brings a smile to my face, so I know it brings a smile to Niele Ivy's face.
I mean, she's doing it on both ends of the court.
On both ends of the floor. The defensive urgency and intensity, getting out to shooters, making things difficult, finishing plays, the offensive pace with which the ball is moving. Well, she certainly could challenge her career high 12 that she
doesn't for 21 in white. Another steal. Hidalgo. Marshall.
Of closing out to shooters. But each time for Purdue, each time they're catching, it's a hold. It's a hold. It might be a little bit 1 or 2 dribbles too many.
Just her 9th make from behind the three-point arc this season. And the first points for Purdue in our second half.
Purdue going to stay
43-21.
And one of the tough things, the zone is meant to change momentum, certainly, but you got to be able to rebound out of it. You got to box out, got to find players, and Notre Dame continuing with the offense.
I don't know that I've seen the potential for a player to have a triple-double. That player right there, Hannah Hidalgo. And close to that number in terms of dimes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And one of many talented freshmen, but certainly leading the way across the country. You know, potential quadruple-double. You need your media relations person saying,
but who knows?
It's too early for that right now. For their defensive energy, execution, But also, I think the growth process for this Purdue team is really learning how to get that ball moving.
Chance for three for number 3. Puts it up and in, and the foul. Hidalgo with 12. Effortless.
She makes it look that way, doesn't she? The ability to, again, initiate contact, neutralize the defender by getting into her body, and finish tough shots.
And she's going to let you know afterwards, too.
Tell them about it.
Harper trying to make her second 3 of the quarter. Can't do it. Another rebound for Hidalgo. It's number 6. The crossover, the mid-range. Purdue without a bucket in the last 2.5 minutes. 50-23. Hidalgo tracks down another board. Looking for another time. Inside, yes.
No doubt about it. And I think the surprise for me in the ACC is NC State. You know, what they've been able to do with as many players as they've lost, and you know, the emergence of Sanaya Rivers. And when you look at the Pac-12 as well, Pac-12 is certainly deep. UCLA, I think, is a team who is talking Final Four, who's looking at Final Four. Of course, everybody got to see.
You get asked to rank the top 25 players in the country. Watching her early last year, I just thought, here she comes. Here comes Utah. Has been phenomenal. That's going to be an offense. Purdue back to work on offense.
Just see the spacing for Purdue is not there. Hidalgo gets another steal out in transition.
7 swipes, 17 points, 7 boards, and 6 dimes for Hannah Hidalgo. And we still have more than a quarter left to go. Hidalgo, the rebound, that's number 8. Well, Stephanie, we have put DeWolf inside. Brilliant dime there. We put our research staff to work on the total number of quadruple doubles in NCAA women's basketball history. And there's only been 5 all-time, with 2 coming from Grambling State's Shaquilla Hill. So Notre Dame in the midst of an 11-0 run, and I'm here to tell you the official quadruple double watch is on in our 4th quarter for Hannah Hidalgo. Yeah, the injuries to Citron and Olivia Miles, Prosper, Emma Risch. You're talking about really 7 or 8 healthy players being able to go recently for head coach Neil Ivey. And 6 assists for the freshman, Hannah Hidalgo.
And when you have a player who's a point guard.
Do you remember your most impressive game, whether it was in the W or playing at Purdue, just individually stuffing the stat sheet?
Roy, you're asking me to remember a long time ago. A lot of life has happened between now and then. So we're talking about throwback uniforms that are not quite as old as. I scored double figures but didn't make a field goal, so got to the foul line and almost had a double-double with turnovers. So
ACC Network, ESPN app, we have our annual special breaking down all the ACC football recruits, taking you through each school with highlights and evaluations. Coverage starts at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, and continues with ACC PM at 4. Well, I didn't expect you to go down that road. Double-digit turnovers, a double-double in that department. My apologies.
Yeah, see those memories that come up.
And she didn't have the kind of performance that she had hoped to have. Mom's watching at home. Camera zooms in on Coach Gerald as they go out to break, and after a miss or a turnover, she said some words that most of us probably shouldn't say on national television. Mom caught it, wasn't happy. I still think she heard a lot about that after that brief timeout. But it is what it is, Stephanie.
That's right. It absolutely is. Katie Gerald was a great player, and the Joyce Center is a tough place to play.
Shot clock is off. Hidalgo operating off the screen. And the skip pass poked down. It'll stay on this end. We can all read lips. It's not that hard to do. The inbounds and a shot that is well short. The final attempt of our 3rd quarter.
If you do get these players back, how quickly can you get them integrated? Are they practicing over break when you've got some time?
Easier said than done. That was the first bucket for Kylie Watson. So she came in averaging almost 9 points per game. She has 2 so far. The putback by Stevenson, no. Over the back of DeWolf. Situation with the injury on the lower leg. Beautiful step through, and Bransford comes up short. Notre Dame in the midst of an 18-2 run, make it 18-4. Stevenson inside.
I think that's the easiest look that Purdue has had since the first quarter. I mean, everything has been difficult. Notre Dame has done a great job of, you're able to see defensively, we didn't put any pressure on Notre Dame. We let them really pass the ball wherever they wanted to, get whatever they wanted, couldn't disrupt in any way. And offensively, just the pace with which the ball moves. Easy to defend when the ball gets stuck in people's hands.
Hidalgo, her 9th rebound, her 20th and 21st points. And another turnover. They trailed by double digits, came back at a 4-point lead late before losing in that one.
That was a heartbreaker. I mean, you mentioned 4-point lead with 120 left, and between fouls and turnovers and missed free throws, you know, even a tie ball game with less than 15 seconds and turning it over. And you know, that's part of just learning how to win ball games. Time management, clock management, taking care of the ball.
Good look inside, and put back up and in on the reverse by Nat Marshall.
Roy, we've had 2 missed opportunities for Hidalgo to get those assists. Nat Marshall on that one. In the previous play, KK Bransford couldn't corral it.
Those 6 blocks, also a career high in the rejection department, so don't want to sell her short there. She has been a rim protector. Really another steal for Notre Dame. Open look, McKenna late. First points for McKenna. Notre Dame back on offense. Here's Nat Marshall from 16. And the rebound. Well, DeWolf has almost had a steal in each of the last 3 possessions. Came up just short again. Layton somehow kept her feet on the ground. Gets it back. Marshall lost it. Has not looked back. Stevenson, no. Westbeld clears the rebound. And ahead another
of your teammate.
Westbeld the block. Ellis the 3. Westbeld another rebound. Already with a double-double for Maddy Westbeld, 16 and 11. Inside Hidalgo. The step back, Reynolds. Get a chance to play here in front of the family at Purcell Pavilion. Return trip in West Lafayette next year, and then following season back here at Notre Dame.
Of the statue unveiling for Muffet McGraw, the legend that she is, not just in this community, but in getting this program to where it is, and Neil Ivey to this Notre Dame community, the way that they continue to support women's basketball, but to Muffet McGraw for her incredible legacy.
Never forget being in South Bend back in 2018 for the first 2 rounds. Rike Ogunbowale, of course, with the incredible shot at the buzzer.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many things on the board today that competed for that national title back in 2001.
And when you deal with adversity, you know, this is what we're dealt with, this is what we have to do, and this is what we have to do to continue to play at a high level. And you know, I give Neil Ivey a ton of credit for handling the adversity of these injuries the way that she is.
Notre Dame never trailed. Only lost this season, came back in the season opener in Paris against South Carolina. Since then, it has been 8 consecutive wins. And Notre Dame worthy of that top 15 national ranking, as Neil Ivey and Katie Geralds will meet at midcourt as this one comes to a close. 76-39 the final. And Hidalgo still dapping everybody up post-game, Stephanie.